leading Republican in North Carolina says the current ban on abortions after 20 weeks does not go far enough, but added he does not support a total ban.
Senate Leader Phil Berger talked to us about this year's election and whether it will determine whether we see any major changes to the state laws. Our Capitol reporter Michael Hyland is live in Raleigh. Michael, you asked him where he thinks the line should be drawn.
Right. The Republican leaders here in the General Assembly haven't said exactly what they would do, but Senator Berger did talk to us about some steps he would support and some he would not.
After the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, the election will directly impact whether there are further restrictions on abortion in North Carolina. If Republicans win a supermajority in the General Assembly, they'd be able to pass new laws and override Democratic Governor Roy Cooper's veto. Republican Senate Leader Phil Berger answered questions about what steps he thinks the state should take.
The legislature is charged with the responsibility under our system of government of deciding where lines are.
Where do you think the line should be?
I would say that after the first trimester, the state has an absolute interest in regulating the incidence of abortion.
Current law bans abortions after 20 weeks of pregnancy. Governor Cooper responded to Berger Wednesday saying he still thinks Republicans would pass an extreme abortion ban with no exceptions.
That is not my position. Never has been my position.
He said he does support exceptions for rape, incest, and the life of the mother. Berger did not go as far as others in his party, including some who have called for a total ban. In an election year that has largely been focused on the economy, Democrats are hopeful abortion access will motivate some voters.
When you make people angry, and when you take away something that I have earned and I have a right to, then you are asking for a fight.
Democrats have the best policy, but sometimes the worst articulation. We need to make sure people get it, that that's the court they put in to do exactly what they did.
Senator Berger says he still thinks that things like gas prices and inflation are really going to be the main things driving voters this year. But Republicans have said that regulating abortion access is going to be a key issue for them when the legislative session resumes next year in January. Live in Raleigh, Michael Hyland, CBS 17 News.
All right, Michael, thank you.